Was Anakin Skywalker really evil when he first turned into Darth Vader? And if not, what was the event that truly sets his place as the Dark Lord of the Sith? Now, we've seen a few times over in the new canon that the newly arisen Darth Vader still has good in him. However, he will still do whatever it takes to complete the tasks set before him by his master. Now, in this episode of Star Wars lore, we see the battle for good in him through the remnants of Anakin Skywalker. And also, be sure to like and subscribe for future episodes of Star Wars lore. Upon entering the most secure area of the Jedi archives, Vader engages in a battle with Jedi Master Scholar Jocasta Nu. He admits that he does not wish to kill her, however, she senses the dark side in him and quite understandably does not believe him. As her weapon runs out of ammunition, Vader, disengaging his lightsaber, once again tells her she will not be harmed if she goes with him. Jocasta has another trick up her sleeve, however, as Vader force pulls her weapon from her hands, and when it is mere inches from him, he realizes a beeping. He instantly hurls the weapon back, and a great explosion occurs between the two of them. This gives just enough time for Jocasta to make her escape, but not before force pulling a lightsaber from the shelves of the Jedi archives for her defense. As she escapes, she is caught off guard by a squad of clone troopers which she engages. Luckily for her, the troopers also believe Vader to be a Jedi as well, and open fire upon him. The clone troopers realize their error, and as Vader boards their ship, he viciously snaps the neck of the commanding officer for not relaying his description to the troopers. During her battle with the clone troopers, Jocasta Nu is eventually disarmed. She realizes her importance to the Emperor, and in a last heroic act, she attempts to plunge to her own death, to avoid letting the Sith gain her vast knowledge. "I am one with the Force is with me," she says as she walks backwards off the ledge. And just as she's plummeting into darkness, she stops. Lord Vader, arriving in his ship just moments before, uses the Force to catch her falling body. She is then brought aboard the ship and searched. The only thing they are able to find is a memory crystal, and as Vader scans it, he realizes the importance of this particular crystal. It is the crystal with all the names, locations, and birth dates of all Force-sensitive children that the Jedi had cataloged prior to Order 66. As Vader starts to question Jocasta Nu about her intended use of the crystal, she reveals that she knows exactly who Lord Vader is, and her revelation that Palpatine was the Sith Lord they were searching for. Calling him a poor deluded boy, she reveals something that, deep down, I think Vader already knows. She tells him that Sidious only wants her alive for this list, and that he intends to train more Sith like Vader, one that could eventually take his place. To which she begs the question, what does he truly want? Now the troopers offer to stun her for her lies, which leads to one of the best scenes in the comic. Jocasta Nu laughs at the clone troopers, replying that the troopers don't even know who they're supposed to be taking orders from, and that Vader is actually the Jedi Knight, Anakin Skywalker. Upon this realization, the clone troopers look to Lord Vader in shock, and in the next scene we see their bodies force blasted out of every opening in the ship. Now this is an important note to touch on. Vader then tells Jocasta that their deaths were her doing, to which she disagrees in a very cold manner, saying that they had chosen their own path. At this point, nobody knows that Darth Vader is in fact Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Knight. Now this revelation caused Darth Vader to murder every single trooper on that ship. Even in episodes 4 through 6, the secret of Darth Vader's identity is paramount to the plans of the Empire. This information becomes an immediate death sentence to anyone who comes upon it. The lies of the Empire cannot succeed if it is found out that the Dark Lord Vader was in fact the great Jedi Anakin Skywalker. Because of this, we see Jocasta ask of her own fate, because she also knows the punishment for knowing Lord Vader's true identity. And once again, Vader ignites his lightsaber. We then see Vader crash the ship, destroying anything that remains of Master Jedi Jocasta Nu. Vader is contacted by Sidious about the success of the mission. Vader reveals that Jocasta was careless and perished due to her own actions, appearing that she had crashed the clone trooper ship, to which Palpatine asks if Vader had learned anything from her before her death. Which brings us to the good that's left in Anakin Skywalker. Vader looks at the memory crystal and then crushes it in his hand. He responds to Sidious that he learned nothing from Jocasta Nu, nothing at all. Now this is a great scene because it adds so much depth to Darth Vader. Why did he destroy the chip containing all the locations of Force-sensitive children? Was it his memory of killing younglings, or was it the words of Jocasta Nu lingering in his head about Sidious' plans to raise and replace Lord Vader? Now this isn't the first we've seen of the goodness left in Darth Vader. In a previous comic, when he's constructing his new Sith lightsaber, we see him pouring his hate and his anger into the Kyber crystal, but the crystal reacts, and Vader has a vision of destroying Sidious and bringing the Jedi Order back once again. So this begs the question, at what point will we stop seeing this other side still lingering in Vader? Does it really ever go away? Whatever the reason, the good deeds Vader has done will continue to set up for the eventual return of the Jedi. Now let us know your thoughts on the continued transformation into Darth Vader in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe for future Star Wars lore and content. As always, thanks for joining us in the Lore Lounge.